Hey there, Heirloom. Coach Sean here with your Volume 4 installment of Just the Tip, and you'll notice that I am not outside. And that's because Volume 4 is not about form, it's about the mind. Running, although obviously a physical exercise, is extremely mental when it comes to how fast and how far you push yourself. And a lot of people new to running often think that veteran runners, that it's easy to them, and that they don't have those challenges, and they don't have those negative thoughts, and they don't have the idea, why don't I just walk, or maybe I should turn around now. And it's very far from the truth. We have them all the time, but with some tricks we're able to keep going and keep pushing ourselves. So I want to share two with you today of a few that I know, and in later installments I'll share some others that I think may help you in your running. The first is that because running is so hard, the one of the key things to do is not think about you. And when I coach cross country, we tell the kids, don't go internal. The kids are trying to race. They're in a 3-mile race in this instance in high school, and if they're thinking about them, I'm tired, my ankle hurts, whatever it is, if it's about them, they're not racing, they're not pushing themselves. And so we always try to tell the athlete to stay external. Now for us it's a little different because we're not necessarily racing each other in the middle of a workout, but the way that we can apply it to CrossFit is when we're in the middle of a run of a WOD, you shouldn't be focusing on the enormity of that run or how many times you have to do that run in that workout. If it's 5 rounds for time and each round is 400 meters, and you're like, oh my god, that's over a mile of running, that you don't do that to yourself. Like when people run marathons, they don't at the starting line think about the fact that they're going to run 26. They break it down. What I do, for example, is my first marker is I want to get to the 6 mile mark, because when I get to the 6 mile mark I have less than 20 miles to go. And for me, that's even a small little trick that I do when I'm running. When I cross a mile, so let's say there's 10 miles to go. When I get to the 10 to go marker, I don't tell myself I have 10 miles to go. I tell myself I have 9 and a little bit more. Even that minor change in thinking can keep a runner going. So when I get to the 6 mile mark of a marathon, I got less than 20 miles to go. Okay, my next marker, I want to get to 10. I'm in double digits. That's only 4 miles away, which again, I know this is the mindset of a marathon runner, but it's applicable to any kind of running. What am I doing? I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking about my environment. I'm thinking about goals that I'm achieving as I'm running. I'm not thinking about the finish line. And I'm already at the 10 mile mark. All right, well, then 3 miles later is the halfway point. All right, we're halfway already. 3 miles after that, you're at 16 miles. Now you have less than 10 to go. Now you're you're in single digits to the finish line. After 16, you get to 20. You've run 20 miles, you got 6 to go, and then from there you take it home. So that's 6 different checkpoints along the way. That takes 26 miles and breaks them into 3, 4, or at most a 6 mile chunk. Well, how does that apply to the average runner? Well, let's say you're trying to run a mile. You don't walk out there and go, okay, I gotta run all 4 of these laps. Don't do that to yourself. That's too big of a task for your mind. As soon as you start running, you're going to think about you. How do you feel? How much further do you have to go? I don't know if I can do this. The best thing you can do is, like, let's say you're on a track. Let me get through lap 1. Boom, I just did a lap. I only have 3 to go. Next lap around, I'm halfway already, So even in a mile, you can do the same tricks that you do in a marathon. And then the same is true, let's say we're in a WOD doing those 5 400s, okay? Well, you don't think about the fact that you got to do 5 rounds of 400s. You just take them one at a time. When you get done with that first round, you're like, I just ran that 400. That's awesome. Way to go. Do whatever the exercises are. You go out on the second run, you're like, I'm on the second run already, Get done with that one. 2 done. You break it up into small, manageable pieces, then allows you to push. It allows you to challenge yourself because you're in the moment trying to achieve a small goal instead of thinking of the entire workout and the enormity of running 5 400s. So again, in recap, one is try not to focus on you. Running is hard, and if you focus on you, it will do two things. One, you will naturally slow down. It's just human nature. And number two, if there is something bothering you, it will get worse. Just guaranteed. The side stitch, the cramp, the pain, the discomfort, whatever it is, because it's what you're thinking about. And because you're thinking about it, it will get worse. It's definitely not going to go away. If you can distract yourself thinking outside of you, small goals, easily achieved, now all of a sudden the thoughts are positive, you're working towards those goals, positive, you're not thinking about you, which means whatever was bothering you probably has now gone away. For some reason, where'd that cramp go? That's crazy. I didn't even realize it was gone. And now you're moving forward. You're running distances you've maybe not run before, or you're running speeds you've not run before, or you're keeping up in a workout that you may have usually dropped off. But you're being successful because you're being positive. And veteran runners, and this isn't a speed thing, this is just people who have run, these are those tricks that we do that when we start to go negative, we switch it around and we quick make a goal. You know, if I find myself like, oh my God, I'm only a half a mile in, I go, okay, let's get down to this corner. Boom, change the mindset. Next thing you know, I'm at that corner. Now I'm like, okay, what's my next goal? And I keep going out for that run. I don't turn around and go home and I was going to run 3, but I only ran 1. I can get that 3-mile run in because I do the little tricks along the way to get myself to the finish line. In conclusion, understand that you're up against the toughest opponent you will ever be in running. Yourself. And you can talk yourself into and talk yourself out of anything. You know, any distance, any speed, any effort. So we want to do the tricks that will keep it positive. Okay? All right, so try to implement some of those this week, maybe even tomorrow's WOD. If not, the endurance accessory WOD, or just getting out some miles for the exercise. See if you can play around with them, and I'd love some comments, some feedback about any successes or struggles. Feel free to communicate those with me. Keep moving, Heirloom.